Not too long ago, Tammy and I did a video on how to cut crab wire in a production type fashion. Okay. And in that video, I said I was going to show you how to build the trap, and I never did. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to put together a Louisiana 4-shooter. The only difference between that video, the wire, the crab trap, in that video is this wire is red. Okay, first thing we need to do, now this is an outside baiter, so the opening of the bait well is going to be on the bottom. And I'm going to set the bait well underneath of the baffle. Now this is positioned 2 meshes down on each side. This is the edge of the openings, and you'll want to center the bait well right there. Not rocket science, you'll figure it out. We'll just go ahead and tack that there and tack it there, and there you go. Bait well is attached to the baffle. The next thing we need to do, I hope that air compressor isn't too loud, is we need to get us what I call a skin. And we're going to staple the baffle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meshes up on each side. So we're going to set that in the baffle inside the shell. We're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meshes and tack it. Then you'll want to go every other mesh. We'll just flip that around. Need to get me a few more staples. Lock and load. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Line up your meshes. Attach it to the outer shell. 1. Then what I do is I flip it upside down. Count up 8 meshes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That puts you in the very center of the trap. Make sure you have equal amount of meshes on each side. You're centered. And then you got crosshairs, like a target. And then I'll staple each of those crosshairs and secure it to the trap. Just like that. Then I'll have my bait well lid. This is the back of the trap that I'm going to caulk because the seam of the bait well is on the back. And I'm going to staple that 4 times equally along the bait well lid. Now I've created a hinge. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this bungee cord. This bungee cord is 6 meshes long. You're 6 meshes apart on the cut. So by the time you stretch it out on each side, you'll have a nice snug strap for the lid of the bait. Okay, now once we've got that much of it done, we showed you how to cut the baffle openings in that one video. And if you haven't seen it, there'll be a card up here, or I'll put a link at the end. But what we're going to do is we're going to bend these prongs like this to open up those baffles. That's where the crabs can enter the upper chamber of the trap. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to get another skin, and we're going to mount the trap like that. Now what you'll want to do is you'll want to make sure that your meshes are lined up here as close as you can. You know, you have that little knobby left over from the cut. You're just going to straddle that in between. But let's do every other mesh. Then we're just gonna flip the trap around, mount the corner, make sure your meshes are lined up, every other one. Okay, then we're gonna flip it sideways. Now I'm going to make sure my meshes are lined up. Tack it. Every other one. But when I get to the baffle, I like to put a staple on each side of the baffle to help strengthen the trap. We'll just get down in here. You got to have strong hands. Get those meshes lined up. Every other one. I don't know why that was so difficult. A lot of times, you know, you just have to kind of manhandle it. Get those meshes lined up. Here's the baffle, one on each side. Every other. Flip it like that. Flip it over to the other side. Now do the same thing. Okay, now this particular baffle is designed to be stapled 3 meshes down from the top on a 12 mesh trap. Staple it on each side right there. And then staple it on the downslope on each side. And then for the shelf, it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then I flip it around, come down 3 meshes, and do the same thing. Down slope, down slope. 1, 2, 3. That one missed. 1, 2, 3, done. All right, next up is the lid. Door. I call it a lid. A lot of people call them doors. You're just going to place that up there on equal meshes on each side, got it lined up. And I stapled that there a couple times. 1, 2, skip, and then did the same thing from the other side. Now I have a hinge for the door. Next up is our bungee. This is 13 meshes long. What we're going to do on our lid is come in 2 meshes, 1 end from the front. We're going to wrap it around that crosshair. We're going to hold it and staple it just like that. Okay, we're going to do the same thing from the other side. 1, 2, 1 end. Wrap it around that mesh. Pull that nice and snug. Staple that. All right, now what we're gonna do is we got a 3/8 dowel, 1.5 inches long, and we got the hook. We're gonna slide the dowel into the hook halfway, just like that. We're gonna take and we're gonna make a butterfly on this shock cord or bungee. Now we're gonna insert, we got the hook facing in. We're gonna insert one side and then the other, and that butterfly in that loop. Just like that. We're gonna give that a tug and hook it. Then I'm gonna hold this shock cord like that. I'm gonna come up, Put a staple on it. Nice and snug, and that's it. Tammy's gonna show you how we snip this thing out and get her dressed up.
Hey, now as soon as Randy gets it to this point, he brings them over here and stacks them up, and then the rest of it's my job. And what I do is I cut it all out, and then I go back and put in the rings and the chutes and cut out the bait well, and then I stack it, and then we go back to step 3 at the end. Okay, and I always start in one direction. That way I don't forget any steps as I go. And the first step is one in and one down, and I start cutting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I boo-booed, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then on either side, I snip that out. Then this goes down. And in a minute, I'll staple it. Okay, now it's time to cut the holes for the rings. And as far as placement goes, it's really up to the individual crabber, but this is where we like to put ours. So this is where it's going. It's two down and 2 in. And each trap has to have 3 rings. Same thing on the bottom, 2 up, 2 over. That makes the 3. Okay, after I get the ring holes cut, I flip the trap and I take that center T out. And then I have to go back and cut each one of these so that we can bend those and staple them and make that perfectly round so they can put their bait in. All right, and then we need 4 chutes, and they are 6 in, 1 up, and you go 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You make a square hole, and then you come back and take these 2 centers out. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now you have a hole that looks like that. Okay, once I have all 4 of them cut out, now I have to go back and bend the tab in each 4 corners so that it looks like that. Now it's time to staple. Okay, and the reason for doing this, cutting it this way, is to stabilize and make the front of the trap stronger. Now it's time to put the rings on, and there are 2 sides to the ring. One has the size 2 3/8, and the other side's plain. Always make sure that that 2 3/8 is out, just in case FWC wants to check out your ring. In we go, and they have these little designated holes, and we just put it right through those holes. Then I lift the trap up so that it's easy to align the hot ring into those holes. All done. Okay, now it's time to put the chutes in the holes. You want to bend it like that. Take that top piece and push it down. Align it in the hole. Make sure the bottom two come out through the bottom. The top two go across. Next two go these go over. These two go under. And then you have this handy dandy tool that Randy had to make for me so that I could do this. You just put it in, twist and bend. Go to the other side, twist and bend. Okay, first thing I want to do is make sure I have enough room in there to get my tool in there so I can twist it in. The next two get twisted under. So it's over, then under. There's no way that this chute will ever come out unless a shark gets it. Then you go to the top, two over, two under. These you just bend back out of the way. Okay, and if all this is in line, then this crab chute, where the crab comes in, is perfectly aligned and perfectly set every single time. 3 more chutes to go.
Okay, all we basically need to do is just open the lid, and then I usually take a pair of hog ring pliers, and then I come in and I bend the tabs down inside the bait well. Just kind of curl them and get it as close to the edge of the bait well as I can. And then I come in and staple it. I staple each of the corners of the tabs to the bait well, and then I also staple the loose ends to the side as well. Just like that. Simple and easy. All right, well, I hope you got some information out of this video. You know, they are just crab traps, but if you're a commercial fisherman or you're looking into building your own crab traps, maybe you'll find some useful information in this. We've got all kinds of different traps that we do build. Our next one is going to be the ultimate pinfish trap. So we'll try to get through that here over the next week, and maybe I can attach it to the back of this video without forgetting. Y'all take care, like, share, leave a comment. We're out.